Testing, testing.
Yeah, give me a second, but I'm working on some stuff.
Yeah, let me see if I can turn it down then. How's that? Is that any better for you? Okay, cool, cool. Awesome. All right. There. Uh, sh- should be right at the top of the hour. They're just doing the anthem now, so. Yeah. Okay. Cool, cool. Thank you, Maki.
We're dealing with an encoder issue, so we're gonna just give you a second here, man.
Welcome along inside Gerson Pavilion. I'm Jonathan Grace. I'm glad to have you with us here tonight. LMU looking for a little bit of redemption tonight against Arizona Christian University after losing their season opener for the first time in 14 years. It's Kelly Leapepe for LMU and the home Grays who will face off against Bryce Davis. And we're underway. Arizona Christian will strike first. It's Johnson, Flowers, Godot, Davis, and Wilson starting off for the Firestorm. In the road yellows this evening, they work it around the outside. LMU trying to pressure out all the way to the arc. Johnson thought about it, dishes it off. Now down inside, bobbing, weaving under a double team pressure. Quintana says no thank you. All the way back outside. Johnson mishandles, able to corral it. Now takes a three as the shot clock winding down and he nails it. So Angelo Johnson, who averages 10.8 points per game, 20 assists. And he's shooting 38% from three, and you see why. Now the Lions with their first chance for an offensive possession. And Quintana was bumped. Good chance to set the starting lineup for the Lions tonight. It's Eli Scott leading the way. The fifth-year senior. He's joined by Joe Quintana, Kwani Marble the second, Cam Shelton, and Kelly Leapepe. It's Shelton up top. Dishes it off to Scott. Now around to Quintana. Leapepe, top of the arc. Goes down low, back to Shelton. Now down low, and Scott loses it. So it'll be a turnover right off the bat for LMU. Not the first offensive possession they would have wanted in this game. They're going to keep it on this side. I think it was tipped. So here we go again, LMU. Shelton looking to inbound. Running low on time, gets it off to Scott. Single pressure on Scott, backs in, dishes it off to Quintana. Long three ball up top is good. And in honor of Jesse Cass, your first très bien of the evening. Jesse will be back with us on the call on Wednesday. So a pair of threes from either side to open up the scoring here. Johnson under tough pressure from Scott, bounces back. No look pass down low. Another three ball is off the rim, no good. Leapepe comes around with the defensive board, dishes it off to Scott. Scott across the timeline, tied up at three, and throws it away. He was looking for Marble down on the low right-hand side. And threw it a little bit too high. So tied at three here with 18:34 to go. ACU just dribbling down. Arizona Christian University, a Division I school in the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, the NAIA. And playing in the Golden State Athletics Conference, they come into this matchup 5-0 on the season. Johnson diving and down the lane, missed the layup. Scott able to come away with the board. Shelton wasting no time, down to Quintana. Now Scott crosses the timeline and controls up top. Down to Leapepe on the right wing. Leapepe wants a piece, backs out. Over to Scott, thought about the three. Sees the screen from Kelly, goes down low, driving through the lane himself. Off to Joe Quintana, he's got 1-3 already. Off the iron, no good for the second attempt, so we stay tied at three. Here come the Firestorm, dish down low. It's a long shot from the left wing. Robbie Wilson finds nothing there. Cam Shelton, a little bit of a seal on the rim for both these teams, who opened up with a pair of threes. Scott, who's being single-teamed up top. Kelly Leapepe lets one go. No dice. Both these teams trying to dial in just a little bit here. Firestorm wasting no time, driving down the lane. Hits the back of the backboard. And now we go the other way again. Quintana for LMU with 17:20 to go. Works up top, wants to take a drive down the lane himself off the glass, and it's good for two. Joe Quintana, 2 points for number two. And nice to see him scoring early. Generally speaking, when Joe Quintana opens up his game early on, it spells success for LMU, who now takes a 5-3 lead. Pass down low inside, Wilson. Under pressure from Scott. Will not get the friendly roll, and LMU has been rewinding well defensively tonight. Marble driving down. Scott wants a three, and he'll get it. Eli Scott with his first three ball of the season. And oh boy, could you imagine the threat Eli Scott would be if he starts opening up the three ball. Here comes Arizona Christian. Working around the outside, LMU biting way high up. Dennis Flowers under pressure. Now switches off to Leapepe, who's with him, tit for tat. Dishes off inside, and a bump and a foul. It was Bryce Davis who went inside. LMU leads 8-5. And Davis will get a chance to try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Lamage Lewis now checking into the ball game with Gary Harris. Bryce Davis, a 79% free throw shooter on the season so far, will drain it. So make it 8-6. Lions with a 2-point lead here at 16:20 to go. Another bump and a foul. Cam Shelton was trying to make his way down court. And Lions with a chance to try to inbound again. It'll be Kelly Leapepe. Just at the tip of the scorer's table. About even with the top of the arc. And ACU wants to double up the coverage and try to pressure down low. Now they'll recover defensively. Here goes Shelton. Harris up top to Joe Quintana, who's let one go from three. He's scored one himself. It's going to be a long shot from Shelton, and he'll get it. LMU and the three ball working nicely so far tonight. Calum Shelton, what a grab he was from Northern Arizona University. Now pressure up top, Joe Quintana. And Kelly Leapepe, I think, will get called for a foul. And with that, we'll take a timeout. We'll step aside as well. LMU leads the ball game 11-6 right here on the. Back to the action. LMU leads 11-6. I'm Jonathan Grace. Thank you for joining us this evening. And LMU and Arizona Christian University off to a very quick start. LMU has opened up the three ball so far. They are 3 of their last 3 from the field, and so far shooting 60% from downtown, including a long ball from Eli Scott. So here we go then. Bryce Davis working it around the outside, gives off to Bradford, who tosses down low. It'll be Godot, who goes up, straight up, and off the rim, no good. Lamage Lewis with a stout defense, able to make it work. And they're going to say that Alex Merkviladze had the dancing shoes on and took a few too many steps. So with 5:15:32 to go, it'll be Micah Bradford to inbound. Lamage Lewis with the height advantage will try to cover the inbound. But ACU is going to get another shot at it. Lamage Lewis bats it away to the detriment of an LMU cheerleader. Looks like she's all right. And let's try this again, shall we? Bradford calling for hope, goes way deep. Finally, Angelo Johnson able to corral it. Remember, he's got 20 assists, leads the team in that category, 10.8 points per season. Here we go then, Johnson looking for help anywhere you can find it. Dishing it off. Backing down the rim in double coverage, little step back 2 ball, no good. It was Xander Bowers who tried it that time. Here goes Joe Quintana. Merkviladze thought about it. Lamage Lewis, what can he do? He's been working well inside so far this season. Missed the layup, though. LMU, though, with a chance to try to make it a second chance shot. Harris down the lane is bumped and fouled. So a scrappy offensive possession there for LMU. Wasn't the cleanest possession they've had all season, but they got some good looks. Score remains 11-6 with 14:51 to go. So Quentin Jackson Jr. a chance to inbound. They're giving Lamage Lewis a lot of space on that far side, and immediately stolen away. So here comes ACU, the Firestorm, looking to try to crawl back a little bit here. They're only 1 for the last 8. What can they do from downtown? That'll go. So Patrick Fisher, who's a 8.2 points per game threat. Now a threat from 3 as well. Here goes Jackson Jr. Little step-up shot, pulls short, goes long. So 11-9 your score with 14:20. Here we go again. Firestorm driving down low. Merkviladze's having none of it. Working back up top. Here's Micah Bradford. Hands off down the side. Paul Hayden under pressure from Lewis. Looking for help again. Back to Bradford. Bradford taking his time. Calls for the screen. Now goes topside. Thinks about it. Wants a chance at the lane. Goes behind the back. A little step back. Nope. Throws it out of bounds. So an offensive miscommunication will turn it over the Lions' way. And your score remains 11-9. LMU, though, in a 2-minute scoring drought. What can Lea Pepe do to help with that off the inbound? Shelton was under pressure. Comes around for the little halfback handoff. High screen from Lea Pepe. David Elliott dished it off to Kelly, who's double-teamed immediately. Interestingly, they're double-teaming Lea Pepe more than Scott at the moment. And we'll watch that one trickle down along the baseline. The Lions turn it over again. That's LMU's third turnover of the night so far. ACU, by comparison, has just one. The Firestorm do average 13.5 turnovers a game, though. So this might come down to who can hold on to the ball better. Scoring droughts on both sides. LMU has no points the last 2.5 minutes since before the timeout. So Bryce Davis finally dishes it off to Bradford. Bradford down low. Patrick Fisher. And back to Davis again. Who loses it? Lea Pepe driving down to Elliott. Elliott waits for help. Goes cross court, top of the arc. Dished it off to Lamaj Lewis on the right wing. Looking for the cutting man. Off to Elliott. Here's Eli Scott. He's a threat from three. He's even more of a threat from down low. Dishes off. Lamaj Lewis from three. No. And ACU, they had Shelton back in defense. Will stop the fast break attempt. Either way, here comes Arizona Christian. So Bowers down low. Has it stripped again. Eli Scott this time in triple coverage. Will they call the Firestorm with the foul? Yes, they will. So foul called on Paul Hayden. Eli Scott was bounced around like a pinball in a sea of yellow. Made it work, though. Eli Scott, something he is tremendously good at is recognizing the opportunity to draw the foul and then doing it gracefully. That just comes with that veteran experience. This fifth-year senior who's broken all kinds of records at LMU. Lea Pepe with the high screen works beautifully. Opens himself up for a straightaway three. No. Lea Pepe, who got a good look at it. That's kind of been the story for LMU in the last couple of minutes. Some great looks, but unable to capitalize. A little bit of a lid on the rim at the moment for the Lions, who remain 11-9. Here comes Fisher. Back and forth we go. Straightaway three from the right wing, no. Lea Pepe again with a great rebound. Kelly Lea Pepe rebounding very well tonight. That's his third. Up top to Joe Quintana. Quintana works the right side. Thought about the lane. Hand off to Shelton. Shelton stops short. Quintana moving across. Three from the right side is good. And Joe Quintana, we know he's a sharpshooter from the outside. He's scored inside tonight. He's scored outside too as well. 14-9. LMU hanging on to a 5-point lead with 11:37 to go. Angelo Johnson, dish down low, stolen away by Joe Quintana, and here come the Lions. Quintana pulls up short to Cam Shelton, who drives right down the lane, dishes it off. Tic-tac-toe. Eli Scott now on the left side into double pressure and a foul. So Scott moving very nicely. And that'll bring us to another timeout as well. So with that, we will take a quick break before returning to the action. Joe Quintana helping the Lions on their way here. It was LMU trying to hang on to a 14-9 lead here with 11:23 to go in this first half. Shelton, long inbound to Eli Scott. It's going to be Lea Pepe up top. Now back to Shelton, who's made his way to the right wing. All the way cross court, risky pass, and a bump and a foul. Kwame Marble was trying to make something happen. And Arizona Christian giving LMU quite a few opportunities now off the fouls. LMU has committed just 2 tonight. This is ACU's 7th. And it was LMU previously in a scoring drought. Now the Firestorm not able to find the rim in the last 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And Marble with a chance to try to extend this lead for LMU. He'll drain the first one. He's going to get another. Lea Pepe taking a much-deserved rest. Brings in Alex Merkvilate, the 6'8 transfer sophomore from Cal State Northridge. And Marble goes 2 for 2. So that brings us to 16-9. LMU with a 7-point edge now. And ACU, no offense in 3 minutes and 16 seconds. So Johnson around the left side, hands it off. The ball movement has been good tonight from Arizona Christian. The official has to play dodgeball there. Johnson goes down the left side, puts one up in traffic, and tries the poster. It'll be an offensive foul. So LMU putting the body on the line, and Angelo Johnson not happy with the call, but LMU will come away the benefactor on that one. 16-9, 10:53 to go. So Eli Scott to inbound. Again, they've double-teamed Cam Shelton. Trying to sweep across. In comes Joe Quintana. And they're still keeping the pressure on. So Arizona Christian changing the defensive approach in transition. Shelton crosses the timeline. Fake handoff to Scott, who's going to keep it. Now he's backing down. Here comes the double team. Tic-tac-toe around. Joe Quintana, a long three ball. Yes! Joe Quintana has been on fire tonight. He's 3 for 4 from distance. So here's Gonzalez around the outside. Hayden now calling for help. Back to Gonzalez up top. Now down to the left side. Arizona Christian trying to find a man. No one working in the middle. It's been a lot of ball moving around the outside, but no real cutting man. Here comes the screen finally from Bryce Davis. They're going to say that he pushed off a little bit. I think they are. So in come the substitutions on both sides for LMU. Lamage Lewis checking back in with Gary Harris. Both extremely talented young players. Gary Harris, the transfer sophomore who took a red shirt after transferring to LMU midseason, and Lamage Lewis responsible for the development of the St. John Bosco High School program. 3-time champion there. Now coming in and immediately making an impact in both the exhibition and LMU's first game. Arizona Christian throws it away. This is some free offense now for the Lions, and Alex Mertveladze with a chance to inbound. Again, they've applied the pressure in transition, especially on that inbound. In comes Cam Shelton, crosses the timeline. Now up to Mertveladze. Here's Harris Jr. Quintana, who's a threat from distance. Shelton, who's a threat from just about anywhere. Driving down the lane, spinning, puts one up, no good. LMU's offense has mainly come from the outside here tonight, holding on to a 19-9 lead. Good ball movement inside. Here's Gonzalez looking for help down low. Good defense by the Lions, knocks it away. Bryce Davis thought he was wide open under the rim, and LMU saying no thank you. There's a good job by Gonzalez, recognized the opportunity, and LMU with a fantastic defensive recovery, and Joe Quintana with an even better block. So here we go, Arizona Christian now up top, stolen away by Joe Quintana. And here come the Lions, fast break opportunity, step up three ball, and take it himself off the rim, no good. He had to miss sometime tonight, Joe Quintana. And great ball movement, now a long three ball from ACU will go. And a timeout called. Stan Johnson wants to talk things over. So with that, we'll step aside as well. LMU leads the ball game 19. Welcome back inside Gerson Pavilion. LMU with a nice lead at the moment, 19-12 over the Firestorm of Arizona Christian. Mertveladze inbounds to Cam Shelton. LMU has had some good looks, and their offense has mainly been generated from the three-point arc tonight. ACU, though, has applied a lot of pressure in transition. Quintana working around the outside. Short, long two ball will not go. A little bit short there. Lamage Lewis, though, able to pick up the trash for the rebound. Shelton down to Quintana. A rifle down to Mertveladze, who's going to body up inside. Now facing pressure. Has to get it out. A little bit of trouble. Will try to put it up himself. And we'll go Arizona Christian's way. They're going to say he shuffled the feet. So Mertveladze, for the second time tonight, called with a travel. And Arizona Christian now with the chance to try to inbound. They'll send Robbie Wilson and Dennis Flowers III. So Flowers up top. Now down low. Good look again. Davis has been trying to make this stick all night and finally does in pressure. Able to use the size. 6'7" in the 220 frame. Quintana had a look at it. Here goes Shelton. Down low. In and out. Merkviladze calling for help. Lots of movement down low. There goes Gary Harris Jr. down low, running out of space. Up to Merkviladze, who tries the long three from the right wing. Yes! Alex Merkviladze with his first long three ball of the night. And the offense continues to be sparked from the arc. This is something we haven't seen in this LMU ball club for the last few seasons. Multiple threats from distance. And the three ball in response will go for Arizona Christian. So everybody wanting a piece of the cake tonight. 22-17 with 7:47 to go. Gary Harris Jr. thinks about it. Triple team momentarily. Bobbing, weaving. Gets it out. And he travels. So everybody moving the feet here tonight. And a timeout called on the floor again, so we'll step aside. 22-17, LMU leads with 7:40 to go on the WCC Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be ready for their last three. Have tried to close the gap to LMU and have done so nicely. 22-17 your score. The Lions still lead, but Stan Johnson, after calling the timeout, what did he drop for the Lions? We shall see. Coach Johnson, in his second year at the helm, has aspirations of reaching the big dance for the first time for this program in 31 years. Here we go then, the Firestorm working down low. Now up top, long three ball right from the middle, yes. And Darius Godot absolutely draining that one. He's 3 for 5 from downtown tonight. Three ball working well for him. Here's Quintana, who we know is a threat from distance. Off to Marble, down low, dish it off to Merkviladze. Merkviladze to Quintana, around the outside to Shelton. Great ball movement for the Lions. Scott gets pinned up in the corner, now backing into his defender. Double team, loses it, gets it back. Merkviladze fires away from three, no. And here come the Firestorm again. Working down low is Dennis Flowers III. Knocks over Shelton, gets it back, uncontested. Scott comes over in relief. Looking around the outside. Couple of looks, but no one's letting it go so far. Now working inside and loses it. He called for a foul, though. So Merkviladze called for the foul. So he got a little too handsy. It was Kevon Williams who was driving down. Williams now with a chance to inbound. Williams looking for help. Lamage Lewis using the wingspan to try to defend. Risky pass down low. They'll make it work. And Flowers takes a long two, just off the mark. Gobbled up again. Another straightaway three right from the middle. No. Shelton with the rebound. And here comes LMU. And the snazzy road grays, home grays, I should say. Eli Scott on the left side. Hands it off to Marble, who's bumped. So Williams called with a foul now. And LMU with a chance to shoot. Pepe back in the ball game as well. No points offensively for him tonight. Quintana leads the way for the Lions with 11. And Marble able to knock it down. Kwani Marble shot 45.6% for the field last season at Wyoming. And has been a welcome addition to this Lions roster. Arizona closes up to 2 before the free throws, and LMU now leads again by 4. 24-20, 6:20 to go. Is ACU, though, on a 6-0 run before the foul was committed. LMU trying to stop the bleeding a little bit and get back to the scoring column. Toying up top is Flowers. Letting one go from distance is Wilson. Now back inside under pressure. Lots of traffic. A foul called against Arizona Christian again. Robbie Wilson not pleased with the call, but LMU won't complain either way. It'll be Wilson's first of the evening. So ACU now with 10 fouls. Puts LMU in the double bonus. which lets Eli Scott shoot for 2. And with just a shade under 6 minutes left, LMU with a double bonus. They'll be looking to draw any foul they can. Eli Scott's free throw goes in and out, bobbles around the rim. But he'll get another one. Scott, who's had a quiet afternoon by all accounts, misses his second free throw. Just 3 points of offense tonight for that lone three-pointer. We've seen him nibble at the three all season long. Finally drained one earlier tonight. So here we go then. Bryce Davis around the outside. Working up top is Dennis Flowers. Back to Williams, who dishes it down low. The give and go. No. Scott flies in, closes the door. Here comes Cam Shelton, who takes a three on his own from the left wing. Off the rim, no good. Kelly Leapepe, second try. Third try gets it in. The man, the myth, the mullet, Kelly Leapepe with his first points of the night. Here comes Dennis Flowers. LMU capitalizing on the second chance point. Cam Shelton nearly had the takeaway. ACU nearly threw it away. Here goes Williams again, bodying up in an offensive foul. The LMU now trying to force the Firestorm into a couple mistakes. They lead by 6 with 5:14 to go. And Leapepe, who again has had a relatively quiet afternoon, getting his first points of the night in dramatic fashion. Here we go then. Around the outside is Williams. Now dishes it off to Bradford. Thought about the three. Here goes Bradford again. And 3-second violation will give LMU the ball back again. So the Lions with plenty of second chance opportunities. And ACU looking a little deflated at the moment after going 0 for their last 4 over the last 2.5 minutes. 26-20, LMU leads with a shade under 5. Here we go, Cam Shelton up top. Tries the right-hand side, driving down the lane, off the shoulder, puts it up, no good. But able to draw the foul. Cam Shelton will get a chance to try to go to work from the charity stripe. Shelton this evening with just 3. He's got 2 rebounds, 2 assists tonight, though. And won't get that free throw, but he'll get another. So 4:44 to go here in this first half. Shelton drains his second, so goes 1 for 2 at the line. And Arizona Christian with a chance to try to answer back. They now face a 7-point deficit. They race right down the lane, right away. 3-ball right from the middle is good. Micah Bradford able to try to help the Firestorm crawl back a little bit. Cam Shelton wasting no time, bobbing left and right down the lane. Won't go. Now they go back the other way. LMU's defense recovers. Down to the left wing. Swerving left and right. Micah Bradford has to get it up top. ACU loses it and tries to throw it back to avoid a backcourt violation. And it won't go, so LMU forces another turnover. LMU tonight has helped force 9 turnovers and limiting their own to just 5. On top of that, they've done a good job of not fouling, only giving up 1 free throw opportunity the whole afternoon. 27-23 your score with 4:10 to go. Here's Leapepe working up top. Lamaj Lewis dumps down low to Eli Scott, thinking about it, draws the double team. Here's Lewis to Quintana. Back down to Scott, who's fouled. And Arizona Christian now with their 12th foul. And that'll send us to a timeout on the floor. 27-23 your score with an even 4 minutes to go. LMU looking out to close out this first half in dramatic fashion. Facilitation-wise, at least, it's Joe Quintana with 11 points tonight. 4 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from downtown, 2 rebounds and an assist for good measure. Eli Scott now to take his free throws, drains the first one. Leapepe, we mentioned the facilitation tonight, has 4 rebounds. has helped a lot in transition. Gobbled up by Davis, and Arizona Christian now comes the other way. 3:50 remaining. They trail by 5, 28-23. Now working up top. Patrick Fisher. Off to Kevon Williams. Williams spinning, dishes it off, and the give and go works. No one was inside to cover Patrick Fisher. And it brings the lead down to 3. Here's Cam Shelton now for LMU. Trying to find some space. He's pressured out way high. Quintana. Quick ball moving over to Leapepe. Now down to Lamage Lewis. Lewis looking for Scott inside. Closes up, back up top to Shelton. Gets the screen from Leapepe. The give and go to the big man. Eli thinks about the step back 3. Drives down the lane himself. Collects it after losing it and turns it over. Faced triple, quadruple pressure did Eli Scott. Now quick ball movement. Long, relatively uncontested 3 will go for Patrick Fisher. And a technical foul. The officials seeing something right as the 3 went up. They're going to call it for a technical. And they're going to give it the technical to Eli Scott, who takes a break. And Gary Harris Jr. will take his slot. ACU now leads 29-28. And make it 30-28. Which gives them a 6-0 run over the last 36 seconds to make it a 7-0 run with that second free throw. They're 3 for the last 3 from the field as well. So LMU, who had a 7-point lead at one point, 10-point lead earlier in the ball game, now having to play catch-up for the first time tonight. Here comes Cam Shelton. Gary Harris Jr., give and go to Shelton. Back to Leapepe, straightaway 3 ball, no. It was tipped and went just short. So driving down, Lamage Lewis provides the shoulder for defense. Now down inside, Davis bobbing, weaving, stripped by Leapepe, but he's called for a foul. So Kelly Leapepe with just his first tonight. But LMU now, with their 7th foul, puts the Firestorm into the bonus. And a chance to try to extend their lead. And they will. Davis tonight has worked very well down low. 2 for 3, 5 points, make it 6 with the free throw. He's 2 for 2 so far this evening. Makes it 3 for 3. So here goes Cam Shelton off the inbound. Squaring up with Bradford. He's got Leapepe for help if he wants it. Marches across the timeline. There's Gary Harris Jr. Hands off to Lewis. Back to Leapepe. Now down low to Shelton. Provides the shoulder. Backs out of it. Still wants a shot down the lane. Into double coverage, and they'll turn it over. So LMU, who did a great job of limiting their turnover numbers down low, has kind of turned it around a little bit. That's turnover number 8 for the Lions at this point. And with that, there'll be a timeout called. So we'll step aside as well. LMU trails for the first time this evening, 32-28 with 2:19 to go. Welcome back, everybody. Cam Shelton has had some good looks tonight, hasn't found the offense he's wanted. Still has 4 points so far. Now provides some good defense. Here we go then for Williams. Wanted the handoff, hands it off himself. Keeps it down low to Davis, who's bumped and fouled. And they're going to say he actually traveled. So Bryce Davis ends up turning it over, and LMU is going to get another shot at it. Here goes Leapepe off the inbound to Cam Shelton. Shelton trying to end a 9-0 offensive run from Arizona Christian. Hands off to Quintana. Quintana up top. Sees the Leapepe screen. Is going to let one fly. Seems that there's some contact after the shot. No call. 28-32. LMU trailing. 3 attempt in response. No good. Gary Harris Jr. able to use the wingspan to corral that one. Hands off to Shelton again. So here we go. Cam Shelton working up top, off to Lea Pepe. Marches down low, off to Lamage Lewis. Tic-tac-toe around the outside. Joe Quintana looks inside for Lea Pepe, who's bodied up right away. Draws the double. Step back 2 ball, no. He's called for a foul before that. Foul was called on Bowers. Xander Bowers, the senior forward. It's his second personal this evening. Lea Pepe with a chance to shoot 2. And trying to give LMU any chance to stop the bleeding at the moment. LMU is just 1 for their last 7. First free throw will not go. 1 minute, 25 seconds to go here. Lea Pepe still a chance for one more. Lea Pepe sinks the second. So closes the gap 32-29 to just a couple. It's a one-possession ball game for LMU. Time running out, though, in this first half. They would love to go into the locker room leading. Lea Pepe bodies up Davis. It's Harris down low. And Arizona Cardinals are going to let one go from downtown, and it'll go. Micah Bradford gives the Firestorm that much more buffer, 35-29. Here goes Shelton, who's fouled. They're going to call it an offensive foul. Stan Johnson can't believe it. So ACU and the Firestorm, Arizona Christian, working very effectively at the moment. It was LMU who benefited from a whole handful of fouls earlier in the game. And now having to respond to some of their own. So ACU taking their time. Shelton providing defense way up top. Little give and go attempt. Here comes Williams. Williams back on the outside to Wilson. Now down low. There's Fisher, who hands off. Ball's out. 50-50 off the fumble, and Quintana's going to come away with it. A good defensive effort by Gary Harris Jr. down low, though. Ended up initiating the turnover. Cam Shelton now slowing things down. 35-29 and 22 seconds to go. LMU's going to hold for a final shot. Shelton, who had the reach around. Shot clock at 7 seconds. Shelton's got to go. Hits Merkviladze. There's Quintana for one final 3 from downtown will go. Joe Quintana. How about that? Time, room, bullseye. And going into the half. Oh, Shelton. Fresh minutes on the clock. The Firestorm making their way back out as well in the road yellows. And Kelly Lea Pepe set to inbound first. Second half underway, and Lea Pepe finds Scott right off the bat. Scott slowing things down off to Cam Shelton. Here we go then. Shelton working that right wing. Up top to Marble. Goes back and forth with it. Now down to that right side. Dishes off the low angle. Scott trying to back down low. Lea Pepe driving up the middle. Stops short. Pulls up and for good for 2. So LMU pulls within 1. 35-34 right off the bat. And the line's off to a good start. Here comes Arizona Christian. Shelton with good defense up top. Scott was there with Lea Pepe in relief around the outside. Here goes Dennis Flowers. Thinks about the 3. Goes inside, across, tic-tac-toe around the outside. Flowers again, down to Johnson, who does take the 3. Off the iron, no good. Great rebound. Little volleyball pass. And nothing but air on that free throw attempt, or on that three-point attempt, I should say. Here comes Marble. Working through the middle. Finds traffic. There's Lea Pepe. Not afraid of contact down low. Dishes it off. Unselfish play. Gives Shelton the chance for 3. No good off the front of the rim. But LMU with some good unselfish offense. Again, trailed by just 1. 35-34 with 18:42 to go. And here's Flowers again down low. There's Wilson. Davis backing down in double coverage will make it stick. Davis able to use that huge frame to his advantage. 6'7", 220 pounds. And the senior experience. Shelton now looking for something. Here's Scott, hands off to Quintana, off to Lea Pepe. Remember, Quintana leads the way offensively with 14 points tonight. There's Kwani Marble. Back down to Scott in no man's land. Shelton up top to Leapepe, who drives straight down Main Street, puts it up, little action on the release, and makes it stick. Kelly Leapepe with the windmill. And Leapepe so far responsible for all the Lions offense here in this second half, and Quintana tripping over his man. And Kelly Leapepe is a head full of steam. Put some English on it. The Bantam at the mullet, working well so far tonight. He was quiet in the first half, now up to 5 points on the game. So here we go. There's Johnson. Off to Wilson on that left wing. Davis inside. Leapepe bodies him up. And Davis goes up. Leapepe commits the foul. And the Lions faithful not pleased with the call. They're saying Leapepe was playing him straight up. So Bryce Davis set the line. Remember, Arizona tonight has been perfect. 5 for 5, 100% from the free throw line. Davis is responsible for 3 of those. And make it 4. In comes Alex Merkviladze replacing Kelly Leapepe, who will take a seat after going to work in the early stages of the second half. Leapepe also with 3 personal fouls now. Coach Johnson is going to want him later in the game. And the free throw run continues for Arizona. 7 for 7 now. So here's Cam Shelton. Off to Scott. Marble to Merkviladze. Working around the outside. LMU moving the ball well. Scott as well on the low post. Wants it himself. Finds room and draws the foul. So shot won't go, but Eli able to use the body and draw the foul. Foul called on Davis, his second. ASU's first foul of this second half. And Scott will get a chance to go to the free throw line. He's 1 for 4 tonight, make it 2 for 5. Scott with a quiet night by all accounts, just 4 points, now 5 with that last free throw. Hasn't taken a lot of looks, does have 2 rebounds. And he nails both free throws. So Arizona wants to hang on to this 1-point lead if they can help it. LMU would love to crawl back as early as they can. Here goes Johnson on Cam Shelton. Now down low to Flowers. Flowers looking for help. He'll find it in Wilson. Long pass down low to Davis, and what a throw that was. A little floater over the defense and made it work for 2. 41-38 now. Rifle down to Scott, and it's overthrown. So a turnover pretty immediately for LMU, and you don't want to see that. Remember, turnovers were kind of the thorn in the side of LMU last season. LMU with 10 so far in the ballgame. That was their first of the second half. Here's Johnson up top. Off to Wilson. Wilson, tough pressure from Cam Shelton. Hits the cutting man. Davis thought about it. Off to Johnson again, who's moving very well. Playing Scott, wants a shot down the lane. Dishes it off and hits the Powerade. So Arizona now throws it away. Johnson saying, hey, my bad. And Alex Merkviladze with a chance to try to create some offense for the Lions, and they desperately need it here. 41-38, LMU trailing by a couple with 16 and a half to go. Shelton again, tough pressure on the sideline. Are they going to call an offensive foul? They're going to say that Cam Shelton was a little bit too aggressive. Shelton pleading his case, the ref having none of it. Cam Shelton now with 3 personal fouls, and LMU does not want to get too much more of their starting lineup into foul trouble. Wilson hands off to Johnson. Angelo Johnson down to Flowers. And a big moving 3 across the right wing, no good. Good rebounding effort, though. Flowers coming in again. Now driving down the lane in triple coverage. Draws the foul. LMU looking a little disorganized at the moment. Both teams unable to put one up in the last minute or so. 41-38 your score remains with 16:09. Let's take another look at it. Down the lane, and I think they're going to call Merk Veladze with that foul. That's his second. Angela Johnson up top. He's a threat to shoot from three. There's Wilson down to Flowers. Flowers on the right wing, now working in. Little step back two ball. Yes. Beautiful little fadeaway two. Merk Veladze off to Cam Shelton now, and LMU again needs to get the offense going. 43-38, they trail by a couple. Lamage Lewis checking in. He can do damage as a freshman. There's Quintana. Unable to shoot. And a reach-in foul against Eli Scott. Or Eli Scott, I should say. The benefactor of the foul will bring out the timeout. LMU trails 43-38 with 15:40. His 10th season at the helm. He is the longest tenured coach to serve in that top spot as head coach in this Arizona Christian University program. Has seen this team enjoy a lot of success over his tenure. Cam Shelton now looking to inbound. Finds Eli Scott, who scoops it up with one hand. Now driving in. And he's fouled. Foul called on Bowers, his third. So Shelton the chance to do it again. There's Scott looking for the quick put away. Unfriendly roll. Tries to put it back himself. Third opportunity will go. There's Eli Scott. And can't knock the hustle there from LMU's big all-time points leader, who has surpassed 1,500 points in his LMU career, has Eli Scott. They call a foul off the ball. Foul called on Robbie Wilson. There's a look from great little step away, too, from earlier. Here's Joe Quintana. Off to Cam Shelton. LMU would like the chance to try to close the gap. It's a one-possession ball game, 43-40. Here's Eli Scott working up top to Joe Quintana. Alex Merk Veladze under pressure from Wilson. There's Shelton. Back up top, straight and center. Shelton again with 15 minutes on the clock to work with. Ball's going the other way. And the officials not happy with Cam Shelton's ball handling at the moment. It'll be Bowers to try to inbound. Angela Johnson taking his time as his offense recovers down low. LMU trails by 3 with 14:55. 43-40. Here goes Flowers down the lane, the left side, finds no one to stop him and lays it in for 2. So the lead extends now for Arizona Christian, 45-40, and LMU with work to do. Pepe waiting patiently on the sideline. Eli Scott able to steal it away. Arizona Christian able to come away with one of their own. Fast break for Johnson. Puts it up, and the layup is good. 5 for their last 6. And the Firestone on a bit of a roll. The Firestorm, I should say, on a bit of a roll. Cam Shelton finds Quintana, who's been quiet in this second half. Thought about the three, wants to drive down the lane himself, loses his footing. Here goes Johnson again. He's been dangerous down low. Dishes it off. And ACU tried the poster. Eli Scott said no thank you. Now he's going to come with a lot of physical pressure. And he's tripped up. So foul called. Eli Scott doing a good job there of drawing the contact, drawing the foul. You can see the physicality from Eli Scott as well. Someone who's not afraid to sacrifice the body. Part of the reason why he's such a leader on this team in the stats category, in the locker room, in the classroom. Here's Pepe off to Cam Shelton, who faces pressure up top right away from Fisher. Scott around the outside. Hands it off to Quintana. Quintana working the right wing. Back to Pepe. Now down low. Pepe wants a shot at the right wing. Cam Shelton straight up top. Shot clock at 15. Straight away for Pepe. Lamage Lewis off the boot, and it's kicked by Arizona. Dennis Flowers III took it off the shoe. Lamage Lewis was trying the low down pass to Eli Scott. Over the top to Pepe, who steps back with a little skyhook, won't go. Here comes Patrick Fisher downtown. A straightaway three ball for Johnson won't go. And ACU tripped themselves off their own rebound. Here comes Eli Scott. 2-on-1. Scott loses it, but called for the foul. It's going to go the other way. So Eli Scott hanging on to just 8 points this evening. 2 for 4 from the field. 1 for 1 from downtown. 3 for 6 from the charity stripe. He's collected 5 rebounds and facilitated an assist tonight as well. LMU trails 47-40 with 13 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the ballgame. Round the outside, here's Flowers. Down low. LMU and Shelton trying to body up the defense. Cutting in as Flowers off the give and go. Hesitates on the layup and won't go. And we'll get a jump ball situation as Quintana had him wrapped up. Angela Johnson has come away as a huge threat here, the senior, in this second half. Quintana takes a well-deserved break. Makes way for Kwani Marble. And kicked off the inbound. Frustration, it looks like, from Robbie Wilson. Flowers over the top to Wilson, who tried to duck it in for the easy layup and won't go. And insult to injury, he's called for the foul as well. Lamaj Lewis doing a great job down low. Here's Cam Shelton to try to start off this drive. Lea Pepe was ready for the high screen. Now recovers down low. Here's Kwani Marble up top to the right wing. 12:40 on the clock. Marble looking for help. Finds Shelton up top. Lea Pepe provides the screen. Shelton nearly lost it. Lamaj Lewis able to capitalize. Lea Pepe, they left him all alone. Off the back of the rim, no good. Scott able to come away with the rebound, though. Backs up past the right wing on the arc. Backs in. Johnson comes in, tries to poke it away, and he's going to lose it. Ball will stay with LMU. But Angelo Johnson, who claps the hands in frustration, nearly made it stick. Eli Scott left the ball hanging outside. Johnson nearly swooped in and took it. It'll be Scott off the inbound. Offense spreads out. Cam Shelton able to take it up top near the L of the LMU logo. Finds the right wing. Lea Pepe thought about the three. Now backs in to the low post. Hesitates. Puts it up for 2. Kelly Lea Pepe showing the physicality down low. Helping LMU trying to crawl back. They were scoreless in the last 3 minutes until they lay up from Lea Pepe. And now LMU is going to need a good defensive stand here with 11:50 on the clock. Lea Pepe, playing good body defense, is going to be forced to give up the 2 from Wallstrom. His first couple of points of the night. Here comes Cam Shelton, who has been at the controls for the most part here for LMU on most of their offensive drives. Marble thought about the high screen, hands it off to Scott. Off to Marble again. Lea Pepe up top. He can shoot the 3. Tough ball handling at the top of the arc. It's going to be Scott down low on the left side. Back it in on the low post. Bodies up, tries to go up for 2 and is called for the foul. And that will bring out another timeout on the floor. So heading into the break, it's 49-42. LMU trails by 7 with 11:18 to go. You're watching LMU men's basketball on the WCC Network. We'll be right back. For 4 times in the last 4 minutes, they trail by 7. 49-42, and Stan Johnson trying to help his squad to get back into leading this ball game as they had been for the majority of the first half. Eli Scott a chance to shoot from the line. Off the rim, no good for Eli Scott. His points tally for the night will stay at 8. So here comes Arizona Christian, and it's Johnson who's been the firecracker for the Firestorm in this second half so far. Over the top to Davis, able to use the wingspan to corral it. Now guarded by Lea Pepe. Goes left to right, backs down, spins to the rim, will get it. Lea Pepe looking for the quick inbound, but the lead now extending 51-42. And LMU in a little bit of trouble here with 10:43 to go. This is an Arizona Christian team that has scored over 100 points on 2 occasions this season, albeit against Division II schools, but The prolific offense is there nonetheless. It's going to be Eli Scott who makes his way through traffic and drives to the rim himself. He said, no help coming, I'll do it myself. Thank you very much. Eli Scott now has 10. Le'Pepe up top, guarding Johnson. Ball nearly thrown away, but corralled well. Down low again. Davis, guarded by Scott, recognizes the height matchup and draws the foul for good measure. Foul called on Quan Marble, though. And that's Marble's third. So 3 Lions now with 3 personal fouls. On top of that, if you're going to foul anyone, you don't want it to be Davis. He's a perfect 5 for 5 from the stripe tonight. As a team, ACU is 7 for 7. And that one's going to go most of the time there. So 54-44. LMU trails by 10. They led by 1 point by 10 in that first half. Cam Shelton under pressure up top from Flowers. Hands off to Marble, off to Quintana. A lot of movement for the Lions down low, trying to create some space. Le'Pepe comes in for the screen. ACU read it well. Quintana tries to go straight away, down the lane to the low post, puts it up. Le'Pepe gobbles up the rebound. Shelton thought about the 3. Now goes up top, steps back, off to Le'Pepe, who will shoot from the left wing, and he'll get it. Kelly Le'Pepe knocks it down from distance. And the offensive drought ends for the Lions. And it's a big 3 from Le'Pepe, who's got 10. Le'Pepe defends the lane too. Quintana, one-on-one situation. Pumps the brakes, hands off to Scott, who goes up and in for 2. Eli Scott with the left hand. And Arizona Christian now having to respond to the Lions, who bring it 54-49, trying to close the gap. They trail now by just 5. And the crowd's starting to light up here in Gersten as well. And the Firestorm's going to lose the ball. They're going to say it was maybe tipped by LMU, so they'll keep possession with Arizona Christian. But either way, the Firestorm needs to try to stop the momentum from LMU, who is catching up. Both teams playing good offense at the moment. ACU 3 for their last 3, LMU 4 for their last 5. So here we go then. Bradford to inbound. He's got 6 this evening. Has not missed any shot he's taken. And the officials just trying to convert, get the call right. 54-49, 8:45 on the clock. And that 3 from Le'Pepe really did open things up. And the officials just making sure everyone is set correctly. Here comes the inbound. Long inbound pass will go all the way past the timeline. Gateau able to handle it. Hands it off. Le'Pepe providing the defense. Looking down low. Now looking up top. There's the fadeaway. And puts it in with the layup. So Bradford able to break through traffic and find an open lane with no coverage. And timeout called by Stan Johnson. 56-49 with 8:25 on the clock here in this second half. And the Lions trying to mount a comeback effort. The LMU fan section out in force here tonight to cheer on their team. Kelly Le'Pepe has started to open up his game a little bit. He's into double digits with 10. Scott leads the way with 12, who's opened up in the second half. He was covered off nicely in the first. Cam Shelton as well, who has facilitated up and down the lineup. He's got 4. And LMU is going to shuffle the feet. So right away, Godot will get a chance to take it. He's got Fisher for help. LMU drops back in coverage. The Lions trail 49-56. Both teams on an offensive streak at the moment, but Stan Johnson hoping to kind of ice the kicker a little bit and give his team a chance to talk things over. Scott now with the tough defense. Over to Fisher, who hands off to Flowers. Flowers up top on that left wing. Spins, moves down the lane. Still looking for help. House to dish it out. Long three ball in and out of the rim, no good. And another foul called. This one presumably against Lea Pepe. So Lea Pepe will be forced to come out. That is his fourth. And Stan Johnson wants to save him for the closing minutes. In comes Gary Harris Jr. Will send us to another timeout on the floor. 56-49. No score change. A little bit of change in. Welcome back inside Gerson Pavilion. Eli Scott hoping to try to lead the Lions on a comeback effort here late in this game. 7:54 on the clock. 56-49 your score. And LMU trails by 7. With Bryce Davis at the line. Lea Pepe committed his fourth personal foul and was subbed out. Gary Harris Jr. replaces him. And Davis sinks another one. As you would expect from him, that is his 7th straight free throw of the evening, made in succession. And Davis a chance to try to do it again. He's 7 for 7. He's got 19 points tonight from the field. And make it 20 with that last one. So if there's anyone you want to try to shut down, it's him. 6 for 7 from the field, 8 for 8 from the stripe. He subs out. Here comes Cam Shelton now. He's got the screen from Scott. Johnson read it well. Now down to Quintana. Inside for Eli Scott, who's going to drive through traffic. Up and finds the rim. Eli Scott wasting no time. Brings LMU to 51. LMU still trails by 7, 51-58. With 7:25 to go. Long three ball from Arizona will find nothing but air. Scott defends well. Down low, bobbing, weaving is Wallstrom. Another long three ball, again in and out of the rim, no good. Finding help up top. Wants Bradford. Bradford taking some time. Drive down the lane, tries to dish it off. Not before it's off the boot. So kicked ball called against LMU will keep possession with the Firestorm. And Lamaj Lewis looks set to sub in for Kwani Marble. Lewis with 2 points tonight off the second chance garbage goal. It was a long three ball attempt that Lea Pepe went up for, and then Lamaj Lewis finished. A great awareness from this young freshman. LMU has no problem playing young freshmen if they are up for the challenge. We saw it last season with Jalen Anderson. But we have not seen it all tonight. Here's Gary Harris Jr., 2-on-1 situation. Finds Scott, who's not going to pump the brakes. He'll drive to the rim and score. Eli Scott has come out of the timeout hot. 58-53, 6:48 to go. Here's Johnson, guarded by Quintana up top. Wants the screen, won't get it. Now he's going to cross back to the left side, loses his footing, loses the ball. Scott hands off to Shelton. LMU waiting for numbers. Cam Shelton's going to go down top, and ball thrown away, but it was tipped, so ball stays with LMU. Checking back into the ball game is Fisher. And look at Eli Scott driving to the rim. Such confidence from the fifth-year senior. Able to make it stick. Gary Harris Jr. ready for the inbound. Harris Jr. was the highest-scoring freshman at Siena College, his previous institution, before transferring to LMU and taking the red shirt. Now playing in his sophomore season. Here's Cam Shelton up top. He's got Scott right behind him with the screen. 58-53, 6:19 to go. Scott down low. Quintana takes the long three and gets it. Joe Quintana opening up the three ball in the second half. Gives LMU a 7-0 run. Here we go then. The Firestorm sees their lead close to just 2. Here's Angelo Johnson. Kicks out for a low left three ball. Won't go. Lamaj Lewis with the rebound. Here goes Joe Quintana. Hands up top to Shelton. Scott now with 16 points. Quintana with 17 leads the way. Joe Quintana, they know he can shoot. Down low to Eli Scott. He's a threat from just about anywhere. Scott backing down in triple coverage. Hands off to Harris Jr. Bobbing, weaving, finds the rim. Gary Harris Jr., how about that for your force points in the evening? Stan Johnson slaps the floor. He loves it. 58-58, tied ball game. Johnson on the right side, kicks it down low. Lamage Lewis with a good defense. Johnson all the way across himself with a little wheel route. Tosses it inside, loses the ball. Here comes Cam Shelton to Quintana. Uncontested three. Got it! Joe Quintana forces the timeout with the three ball, and LMU leads 61-58. We'll be back. LMU, who was trailing by 10 at one point, has a 12-0 run to raise your spirits. Eli Scott coming alive in this second half. Joe Quintana with two back-to-back three balls. Absolutely electric. One in a settled offensive set, one in transition. And the Lions have responded just as well as you would have hoped. Here's Johnson up top. And back down low to Wilson. Wilson looking for help. He'll find Fisher. Fisher spacing is who's up top. Johnson wants the screen. Won't take it. He'll get double teamed instead. Now takes the long fadeaway two ball. Won't go. Quintana tracking it down near the corner. Will get it. So LMU trying to extend a little bit after crawling back and taking the lead into the timeout. 61-58. Cam Shelton backing down his man. With Eli Scott with the screen. Tosses back. Scott takes it himself. Driving down the lane. Puts up the floater and goes. Eli Scott has opened up this second half. How about a 14-0 run now for the Lions? Down low to Davis. Davis backing down Shelton. He's going to try to take it himself and draws the foul and one. He won't go though. Instead, it's an offensive foul. Sends us to another timeout. 63-58. LMU leads by a couple more with 3:56 to go. So here we go. Then the Lions taking the court. And as we said before the last timeout, they were trailing by as much as 10. And Stan Johnson wisely using a timeout to stop the bleeding. A couple timeout stoppages and fouls and media timeouts later, and LMU all of a sudden leading 63-58. So here goes Cam Shelton. Eli Scott jogging alongside him. Shelton taking his time. 3:45 left on the clock. Lamage Lewis over to Gary Harris Jr. Back up top to Joe Quintana. Down low to Eli Scott. Double teamed immediately, trying to get out of trouble. He's got a wide open Harris down low. Kicks it out to the right wing. Lamage Lewis for three. Overshot. Gary Harris Jr. ready for it, though. Sends it away. Here's Eli Scott. Scott ready for it. Cam Shelton taking his time up top. Now drives down and bump and foul. So both teams now playing in the bonus. Kelly Leapepe, who's got four, is ready to go again. Tosses in the mouth guard, and he's ready for action. So 1-1 situation now for Cam Shelton. Shelton knocks down one, so we'll get another. 64-58 now with 3:18 to go. And all of a sudden, Bowers, Davis, and Wilson, all of whom have 4 personal fouls for Arizona Christian. Shelton sends it away. The 72% free throw shooter makes both of them count. So it's a 15-0, make it a 16-0 run now for LMU. They extend 65-58. No offense in the last 4.5 minutes for ACU. LMU trying to quench the firestorm at the moment. Here's Johnson up top, dribbles behind the back. Squaring off against Scott, wants a drive down the lane. He'll get it, he'll overshoot it. Cam Shelton fights for the rebound, comes away with it. And here we go again. So LMU crossing the timeline. Over to Shelton. Lobbing pass. Johnson playing him out really far. There's the screen from Scott. And the officials don't like it. Foul called against Angelo Johnson, who's pleading his case, and Cam Shelton will get a chance now to shoot two, as LMU is into the double bonus with that 10th foul from the Firestorm. Shelton misses the first. Brings in Darius Godot. Kevon Williams checking into the game as well. Shelton's got another one. So Cam Shelton tonight has 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and make it 7 points as he drains the second free throw. 66-58 with 2:44 to go. Angelo Johnson's letting it roll and finally picks it up and gets going. LMU on a 17-0 run. Joe Quintana causing trouble. Here's Eli Scott facing off. Now up top, Quintana with the defense. Moving it around, Bowers down low, throws it away. So LMU basketball, 66-58 with 2:27 to go. And Dennis Flowers III, the sophomore guard, checking back in. Joe Quintana sees pressure from Flowers right away. Just taking his time as the screen from Lea Pepe. He's got Shelton for help up top. Now swooping in is Eli Scott, who provides the screen. No foul that time. Lamaj Lewis up top on the right wing. Dishes it down low. Here's Eli thinking about it. Had the long-range 2 ball and dribbled out of bounds. So a small mistake there from the fifth-year senior. Turns the ball over. Johnson's calling for spacing. 2 minutes even on the clock as we head down to round this one out. 66-58. Johnson driving down low, dishes it off. Good pass. Skyhook doesn't work, and Lamaj Lewis comes away with the defensive glass. The rebounding has worked well tonight for LMU. They've got 27. Arizona Christian's 26. Foul called again on Angelo Davis. That's Davis's 4th. So Davis takes a seat now. He's the 4th Firestorm player with 4 personal fouls. He will stay in the ball game. Cam Shelton will get a chance to shoot again, and he drains it. So Cam Shelton trying to extend a little bit here. Shelton goes 1 for 2. So here we go then. Arizona Christian trying to crawl back. LMU, though, on a little bit of a scoring drought. No field goals in the last 2.5 minutes. Pass down low. Beautiful spacing there for ACU. No one was there. So Lea Pepe has fouled out of the game. So technical foul as well against Flowers, his 2nd. So Lea Pepe done for the evening. And a whole host of extracurricular activities there. LMU, success off the inbound. Finds Lamaj Lewis with time and room. Waits for it. Wanted a shot. And we'll hand off to Eli Scott instead here with 1:14 to go. Cam Shelton getting a little physical there with Johnson. Shelton with the size matchup goes down the lane, driving, kicks it out to Harris Jr., who's fighting down the lane but is fouled. That should send Gary Harris Jr. to the line. Will be a simple inbound instead. No foul called. 1 minute even on the clock. LMU leads 67-60. And the officials just trying to calm things down here. Looks like Robbie Wilson is asking for clarification. Cam Shelton off the inbound. Does finally find Scott here. 3 seconds on the shot clock. He's got to let it go. He won't get it off in time. Johnson driving. Hits Quintana. The ball will go the other way. Johnson with a full head of steam didn't stop. Well, he stays down. Slow to get up off the hardwood. Quintana sacrificed the body. Full head of steam for Johnson. Picks up the ball. Didn't even think about stopping, and ball didn't go anywhere. And he went straight down with Quintana. So no one coming off the benefactor there. LMU will get the ball, though. 67-60. So it looked like there will not be a technical foul on Lea Pepe. In correction, technical foul was called against Johnson, who, actually Johnson with that call fouls out of the ball game. Lea Pepe is still taking a seat, though. Harris Jr. under pressure right away, has to try to get it off. Can't quite do it in time. Foul called on Flowers, just his third, with 50 seconds to go. Getting scrappy here in the final stages. And Gary Harris Jr. will get a chance to shoot for two here. LMU well into the double bonus. Harris Jr. off the rim, no good for the first one. And substitutions up and down the lineup for Arizona Christian, bringing back in Kevon Williams and Darius Godot. And that will fall for Gary Harris Jr. So 3 points on the evening for Gary Harris Jr. Has played a lot of good basketball down low tonight. Ball now down low for Arizona Christian. Dishes it off over to Flowers. Long three ball will go. And they haven't had one of those in a while. Timeout called pretty immediately in response by Stan Johnson, who does not want any semblance of a run here for Arizona Christian. He'll ice the kicker and talk things over. 68-63 your score, 39 seconds to go when we come back from the timeout. For Arizona Christian, he'll ice the kicker and talk things over. 68-63 your score, 39 seconds to go when we come back from the timeout. Here on the court, the officials waving off a timeout, and the Lions will have to continue now with 40 seconds to go. Quintana, who's led the way with 20 points tonight, finds some free room, now dishes it off to Scott. Back to Quintana, who's fouled right away. 68-63, 5 points is not insurmountable for Arizona Christian. We've seen them go on plenty of runs tonight. LMU would like to just try to hold on to this lead if they can. LMU, despite going 8 for the last 9, has not scored from the field at least in the last 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Quintana off the back of the glass will go in. Make it 21 for Joe Quintana tonight. And he goes 2 for 2. 22 for number 2, Joe Quintana. Arizona Christian driving down low. There's Flowers. Takes another long three off the glass. No good. 18 seconds to go. LMU a chance for one final shot if they want it. They're going to foul. And the call will go against LMU. Stan Johnson not pleased and calling for clarification. It'll be an official's timeout as they go ahead and try to look at the replay. Stan Johnson saw another, and they've got to confer with the VAR, video assisted replay, to make a decision. They're going to reset the ball on the baseline, but who is inbounding is the question. So Firestorm basketball, possession stays, call remains, and a good little quick dump for two for Bowers. And a reach and foul right away as Quintana had gobbled it up. So Quintana with a chance to try to shoot for two. 70-65 your score now. And again, impressively, LMU with no field goals in the last 4 minutes, still 8 for their last 9, and generating offense from the stripe a little bit recently. Quintana drains the front end. And Joe Quintana has had one of those nights where he just can't miss tonight. He's been 6 for 9 from downtown. So far, 3 for 3 from the stripe and 7 for 12 from the field. Make it 4 for 4. Quintana's got 24, and LMU has 72. 72-65, and ACU driving down will be fouled. Arizona Christian just trying to make some offense happen down the lane where they can. Foul called on Lamage Lewis. Just his first of the evening. Lewis has 2 points tonight, 1 for 4 from the field. He's taken 2 long balls as well. He's got 5 rebounds tonight, though, Lamage Lewis. He's been a great asset on the defensive glass tonight. So first free throw is good for Bowers. And Kevon Bowers a chance to try to make it one more. And he will. Welcome back, 72-67. And the final 8 seconds on the clock. Eli Scott is set to inbound to close this one out. LMU just has to hold, and they'll be fouled first. A big foul at that from Flowers. Well, if you're going to foul, might as well make it count. Joe Quintana was knocked down on that occasion. He'll go back to the free throw line. LMU has wisely been putting the ball in his hands off the inbounds. They know he's been dangerous. Quintana is an 80% free throw shooter on any other night. And he's a 100% free throw shooter tonight. And he drains his 5th. He'll get a chance for one more. Personnel changes for ACU in the closing stages here. That last inbound wasting just 0.8 of a second. And Quintana 6 for 6. How about that? Joe Quintana has 26 points tonight. So here we go, and Scott with trouble off the inbound on the floor. Finds Gary Harris Jr. Will toss it to Marble. Clock hits 0, and that'll do it. LMU with their first